The Tulane Wave hosting the Ole Miss Rebels, and who would have thought that this would be a top 25 matchup? But it is. And Ole Miss are 7.5-point favorites. I have seen them as low as 6. It just depends on what casino that you have, but the consensus is between 7 and 7.5. Use a site like VegasInsider.com. It'll allow you to compare all the casinos' pricings in one place. Now, Tulane is plus 245 on the money line. Ole Miss is minus 290, and the over-under is 66 points. Now, these teams have actually played each other in the past. Ole Miss is a perfect 6-0 against Tulane. The favorite is 6-0 on the money line. The favorite is 4-2 against the spread. Now, there were 3 games that they played against each other where sometimes the casino is just saying, I'm not putting an over-under on this game because they feel that one team is just going to run up the score, or they don't know what the competition is going to look like and they're afraid that they're going to get hammered by people betting the under because they don't think one team is going to score. So the under is actually 2-1 in their 6 meetings because 3 games did not have an over-under. And the home team is 3-3. Now, the last game that they played against each other was in 2021, and Ole Miss won that game by 40 points at home, 61-21. The game before that was in 2012. Ole Miss won that game 39-0. And the game before that, Ole Miss won 27-13. So the last 2 games that they played were in Tulane, and they won by 39 and they won by 14. Now, understandably, with Tulane being a ranked team, now I don't expect them to get blown out, or I don't think anyone expects them to get blown out by 40 points. They are 5-0, Tulane, against the spread in their last 5. They're 5-0 straight up in their last 5. And Ole Miss is 1-4 straight up in their last 5 games. Now, at the end of the year, which team do we think is going to stay ranked in the top 25, and which team do we not think? Now, Ole Miss is definitely going to have a tougher schedule because they're in the SEC. And they closed out their season last year against Alabama, Arkansas, Mississippi State, and Texas Tech. So that could explain why they were on a 4-game losing streak to close out their season, while Tulane had SMU, Cincinnati, UCF, and USC. Now, granted, that wasn't an awful stretch that they had, and they actually did beat USC by a point. Now, that USC team last year and this USC team this year are 2 totally different teams. And I understand that college football teams change from year to year. Ole Miss has seemingly dominated Tulane, so I'm going to roll with the statistics here, and I'm going to take Ole Miss with the money line. I'm going to take Ole Miss laying as few amount of points as I can find, which I saw was 6. And I'm going to go over in this game because a lot of the last handful of games that Tulane has played have been competitive. 37-13 was against a scratch team this year. But last year against competitive teams, 46-45, 45-28, 27-24. So a bunch of points. These are just my picks. If you disagree, please go with your gut and please bet responsibly.